What is the best method for preserving fresh produce? 1. Freezing. Freezing is one of the easiest and most effective methods for preserving fresh produce. It locks in nutrients and flavors, making it ideal for fruits like berries and vegetables such as peas and broccoli. To preserve quality, blanch vegetables briefly in boiling water before freezing, which helps retain color and texture. Fruits like berries can be frozen directly on a tray before transferring them to airtight containers. 2. Canning. Canning is another popular way to preserve produce, especially for items like tomatoes, jams, and pickles. There are two types of canning: water bath canning for high-acid foods like fruits, and pressure canning for low-acid vegetables and meats. Proper sterilization of jars and following canning guidelines are crucial to prevent contamination and ensure long-term storage. 3. Dehydrating. Dehydrating removes the moisture from produce, which inhibits bacterial growth and extends shelf life. This method works well for fruits like apples, bananas, and strawberries, as well as vegetables like tomatoes and mushrooms. You can use a food dehydrator or your oven at a low temperature. Once dried, store the produce in airtight containers to maintain freshness. 4. Pickling. Pickling uses vinegar, salt, and spices to preserve vegetables and fruits. It's perfect for cucumbers, carrots, and peppers, giving them a tangy flavor while extending their shelf life. You can either use a quick pickling method, where the produce is stored in the fridge, or traditional canning to store jars at room temperature. 5. Fermenting. Fermentation is a natural process that preserves produce through the action of beneficial bacteria. Fermented foods like sauerkraut, kimchi, and pickles not only last longer but also offer health benefits by promoting gut health. Vegetables like cabbage, cucumbers, and carrots are commonly fermented by immersing them in a saltwater brine. 6. Root cellaring. For hardy vegetables like potatoes, carrots, onions, and beets, root cellaring is an excellent method of preservation. Store produce in a cool, dark, and humid environment, like a basement or cellar. This method relies on the natural conditions to keep the produce fresh for months without the need for any special equipment. 7. Vacuum sealing. Vacuum sealing removes air from the packaging, reducing the risk of spoilage. This method works well in combination with freezing, as it prevents freezer burn and extends the storage time of fruits and vegetables. Vacuum-sealed bags are also great for preserving herbs and leafy greens. 8. Jamming and jelly making. Turning fruits into jams, jellies, and preserves is a time-tested method for extending their shelf life. Cooking fruits with sugar and pectin creates a thick spread that can be stored for months. This works particularly well for berries, peaches, and apples. 9. Dry storing. Some vegetables like garlic, onions, and winter squash can be stored in a cool, dry place for extended periods. Make sure they are well ventilated to prevent mold and rot. Hanging garlic and onions or keeping squash on shelves in a cool pantry helps keep them fresh. 10. Oil and vinegar preservation. For herbs like basil, oregano, or rosemary, preserving them in oil or vinegar is an effective method. You can create flavored oils by submerging herbs in olive oil or make herb-infused vinegars. These mixtures add flavor to dishes while also keeping the herbs usable for months. Choosing the right preservation method depends on the type of produce and how long you want to store it. With these techniques, you can enjoy the flavors of fresh fruits and vegetables throughout the year.